Hey everyone, it's Robert Hall, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to use one V1 on camera to control other V1s off camera. For starters, you're going to need a little bit of space in between the two flashes. Do not try to do this with your slave flash right next to your master flash, as there needs to be a little bit of distance in between them in order for them to properly communicate. Now once you have a little bit of distance in between the two, we're going to go into the menu on each of these and we're going to check two things. We're going to check the ID function and we're going to check the channel. First, the ID function either needs to be off on both of these, or the ID function needs to have the same 2-digit number. This is a protection method so that other people can't trigger your flash. You can set a custom ID on all your flash equipment that it's capable with if you're using other products in the Godox X series. So I'm going to keep this off. I'm not going to use the ID function at all, and I've never really used it. Even if I run into a situation where there's other Godox users around, I typically just switch my channel rather than change the ID function on all my equipment. The next thing we need to check is the channel. This is the only Godox product where the channel is actually buried in the menus rather than being somewhere on the home screen display. So we want to make sure that our channel is the same between these two devices. So now that we've got this on channel 5 with no ID function, we can leave that. We need to do the same on this one. So we're going to go in the menu. Channel is on 29, we're going to take that down to 5. And we're going to make sure the ID function is set to off. And my apologies here, this suffered a drop not too long ago and I got one line of display out here, so hopefully you can still see pretty clearly. Next up, we're going to press this far right button. On this flash, we're going to navigate to the second page with a wireless symbol in the top left corner, and you'll see 4 different groups. This is the wireless master group. You have to be in this menu in order for this flash to communicate with this flash off camera. Now we need to hit the same button over here on the far right. We need to skip this menu, the one that this is on. We don't want this to be a master, and we need to make it a slave, which is the third menu. Wireless symbol in the top left corner. It is a wireless slave in channel 5. So on here we have 4 different groups. We have M, which controls this light, the master. Then we have external groups A, B, and C. And on this flash, you see if we switch the groups, we have A, B, C, D, and E. The reason for that is if you're using a trigger, you have access to groups D and E, but if you're using a flash, at least on Sony and Nikon cameras, I believe Canon, you can have groups D and E, but Sony, Nikon, Fuji all have 3 groups, so you have A, B, and C, so this has to be set to groups A, B, or C. Now you're done with this. You can put this wherever you want, point it at whatever you want. You can adjust the zoom as well if you need it to have a specific zoom. This is ready to receive a signal and you can go set it up anywhere. And all the control can happen from here. So if I select group A by pressing the second button in the top row, I can change the mode by pressing again on that same button. We're going to go past TTL and then we're going to go to manual, and now we can control the output of this light. And you'll see as I move this, the power setting is activated here. So as I change the power of this light, it's already receiving that signal. And now if I take a photo, this flash will trigger this flash at that power level that we've selected off camera. And if we want TTL, we instead just navigate to TTL and we can change the exposure compensation. Now if you have 2 or 3 lights, you would do the same thing, but you would make the second group B, the third one group C, and then you would have independent control of each of their powers all from this flash. Alright, that's a quick video on how to use one V1 to trigger another V1 off camera. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos on Godox products. Comment below if you have any questions or content suggestions. And until next time, keep on shooting.